Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
The Texas Rangers have been waiting for a few years for former number one prospect Jurickson Profar to make an impact at the big league level. He missed the past 2 seasons with right shoulder injuries. Meanwhile, Rougned Odor quickly became the more intriguing young infielder for Texas, and he produced well over the past couple seasons. That really made Profar more of an afterthought in the Rangers system. And Odor, again, he's having a solid season this year. He's hitting .262, has 10 home runs, 6 stolen bases through 229 at-bats. However, he had that 7-game suspension handed down to him for punching Batista in the face, and that really opened the door for Profar to be recalled. And during that time that Odor missed, Profar went 12 for 33, that's a .364 average, and added 2 home runs along with that. This was enough to keep him on the 25-man roster after Odor made his return to the lineup. And since then, Profar has been used at a couple positions, including first base and third base. And his natural position is shortstop, so it looks like he's going to be able to move anywhere around the diamond to keep his bat in the lineup as long as he keeps hitting. So far, he's hitting .343 with a .370 on-base percentage, has 2 home runs, along with 2 doubles and 2 triples, scored 13 runs already. Now, look, he has 3 walks compared to 12 strikeouts and 70 at-bats. That's a great strikeout rate, but he needs to take a few more walks, and we'll talk about here in a minute. He did do that in the minor leagues, so it is a possibility he improves in that aspect of the game still. And he's hitting at the top of the Rangers lineup right now. And it looks like the 2 years off from that injury, those shoulder injuries, really didn't affect him negatively in any way. In fact, the last time he seen time in the big leagues was back in 2013, and he struggled mightily. He hit .234 with a .308 on base, had 6 home runs, and he struck out 63 times in 286 at-bats. He has better plate discipline than that. And as a former number one prospect, the Rangers weren't really going to rush to judgment on him or anything. And although there were a few trade scenarios that were presented to him, they were never really close to dealing him in the long run. While his value was so low due to the injuries and the poor numbers, they figured they seen more value in just holding him for now and hoping for better results in the future. Look, he's still just 23 years old, too, so he was kind of rushed through the system a little bit as well. And with those injuries making him miss 2 seasons, it wasn't a good idea to trade him at that point because you'd have really got nothing for him in return. Now, you look in the minor leagues, he's a career .277 hitter with a .364 on base. He hit 40 home runs. His highest total was in 2012 in Double-A when he hit 14 in 480 at-bats. So he doesn't have a ton of power or anything. He is a natural shortstop as well, like I was saying, so it's not like you're supposed to expect a ton of home runs from this guy. He did have 57 stolen bases as well in his minor league career. Now, through 313 AAA at-bats, he had 10 stolen bases. But his best attributes are his contact skills and his plate discipline. He had 198 walks compared to 249 Ks in 1,518 minor league at-bats. You look this season, like I said, he only has 3 walks in 17 games so far for Texas. So we can see improvements in that area of his game. But if you look in AAA in 2016, he hit .284 with a .356 on base, had 5 home runs along with 4 stolen bases, had 16 walks compared to 26 Ks and 169 at-bats. I think that's something that's more likely to come with a little bit time in the bigs. You see that walk to K rate right there. Now, his future defensively is still a question. You got Rougned Odor at second base, like I was saying. He's still young. In fact, he's younger than Profar, and he's under team control through 2020. You got Elvis Andrus at shortstop. He's a free agent in 2024, although I believe he's a little bit overpaid. He is playing a little bit better this season, but he's coming off 2 mediocre seasons. So we'll see where his final numbers end up this season. And then you have Adrian Beltre at third base. He's 37 years old, and he becomes a free agent after this season. He is a Hall of Famer in my mind, so we'll have to see. I'd have to believe they're going to move on from him because you got Joey Gallo as well. Maybe you can move him to the outfield. It looks like he could be pushed to the outfield. But that's still where you're going to put Profar unless you get rid of Andrews. You're not going to get rid of Odor, obviously. So there's a lot of players here for a little room. And if you are moving Gallo to the outfield, let's not forget you got Nomar Mazara and Lewis Brinson as well. Now Brinson, he is in Double-A right now, and he's not playing that well there. But he's a big-time prospect as well. So you got a lot of young players here, and you're going to have to find room for him somewhere. And Profar fits into this equation somehow. He's going to have to if he keeps hitting like this. So we'll see. I mean, it looks like Beltre may be the odd man out. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to be first base. Like I said, he played at first base a game or two this season. I'm not sure his future is at that position, and I'm talking about Profar right now. This season, it looks like he could play nearly every day as a utility player around the infield, and he got a few starts in left field for Texas in 2013 as well, so you might be able to see him play at one of the corner outfield positions and anywhere in the infield, so he could find a ton of at-bats here in this lineup. And if anybody goes down, he'll fit right in as well. Now, the Rangers, they're 39-25 entering today. This is June 14th, giving them the best record in the American League, and they got a 4.5 game lead over Seattle in the American League West. And if Profar can keep hitting like he does, I can definitely see that continuing. Now, look, they're 12-5 since Profar did make his 2016 debut, and he has been a major reason for this great run they're on right now. However, he does have just one hit in his last 12 at-bats, so maybe pitchers are just now adjusting to him a little bit and finding some of his weaknesses at the plate. But Profar, like I said, he has great pitch recognition and strike zone awareness skills, and he should be able to make his own adjustments and remain a valuable piece to a strong Rangers lineup moving forward. The biggest thing I'd like to see from him really is just stay healthy and play a full season and get past some of that injury-prone talk. And this guy, like I said, top prospect at one time, #1 prospect, and it's not like he's great in any one category. Like I said, he doesn't have a ton of pop, but he does have a little bit. He doesn't have a ton of speed, but he does have a little bit. And he's not going to strike out a ton, and hopefully he can take some more walks. So he's one of those guys that are just good from top to bottom, not great in any one category. But if you want to read a little bit more about Jurickson Profar, I did find a good report by BleacherReport.com. It's called Jurickson Profar, showing star talent Rangers hope for after 2 lost years. So you can go check that out if you want to read more. It was a pretty good article. And if you want to hit us up and ask us any questions, you can find us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/betthespread. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video.